Welcome, welcome, welcome back, everybody. It is Friday, August 24th, and we are back with another episode of Shoot the Shit. And as with me, as always, almost screwed up that intro. Two beers. What's up, sir?
What's going on, man?
Oh, nothing much, man. I would like to give a special shout out real quick to GNS, who, as we discussed last episode, is not with us today. Not by choice, but it's a special momentous occasion for him and his lovely wife. So I hope they
Yeah.
enjoy their anniversary, relax, chill out, have fun. And me and Two Beers will tackle the nonsense for another week. Oh, man. A lot of stuff,
Happy
man.
20th, brother.
Oh, yes. Happy 20th. Dude, man. It's a lot of shit happening this week. Eh,
Tell me about it.
and just to let people know, right? And this is going to go into the monologue that I'm about to get into, but there's so much stuff to talk about. I mean, you would think, now, don't get me wrong, in this p- current COVID climate that we're in, right? There's a lot of shit, right? That it slows down, right? So we don't have as many movies to talk about. You know, a lot of the entertainment stuff. There's a lot of realistic shit happening. You know, the real,
Mhm.
right? We still got protests still going out there. We have an idiot in office, you know, doing whatever he can to make sure he's there for another 4 years, if not until the end of the time, because he wants to be a dictator.
Uh-huh.
We got a musician playing politician trying to ruin the election with false, you know, signatures. It's so much stuff that's happening, and we don't even talk about half of it. Murder, it's just so much stuff, right? And what this is going to bring me into is my opening monologue, which comes into addiction. And I know people are like, whoa, 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 whoa. I mean, AKA Swollen Squirrel. Whoa there, Swole Squirrel. What are you talking about? What are you talking about there? So, when I bring up addiction, I'm not. Let me go into it. The real truth about the monologue is about escapism, right? Due to addiction. So, when people are addicted to something, even whether they realize it or not, a lot of things they like to do is they like to escape whatever is causing them pain, I guess you could say. There's many ways you can use to escape, you know, from basically life itself. Some people use drugs or other, you know, substances. Some people, like me, will sit down in front of a TV set and watch programs for, you know, 8, 10 hours, a waste in their life. Some people like me will play video games, right? Shoot people in video games or continuously push guys in the water and fall guys and then get upset, you know, because my team can't get a ball in the simple net. Why are you pushing the damn soccer ball in our net? Fucking yellow team. Oh my god, it's just so frustrating, right? So, you know, the crown is right there, but we're not here for Fall Guys. Shout out to Fall Guys, great game. But the point of the matter is, people like to escape from basically everyday life, and on this program, I try to bring that form of escapism. You know, whether we take up an hour, 2 hours, even sometimes we ramble 3 hours of your time. If you're listening that long, I appreciate it. Trust me, I do. I know these episodes could be very long, but I hope that we here at the KNOE can give you that escape, that satisfaction, for you to step away from basically the pains of the real world, you know, and just listen for some time, veg out, and just escape, right? And I try to not bring heavy topics to here. I know we've had a couple of Debbie Downer episodes, but I try not to bring heavy topics unless I feel that it's something very important, right? So, like voting, I felt is very important for the people, you know, who listen to understand, right? Whether you agree with it or not, just to hear it, right? Because I feel that it's very important. But I hope we bring some form of escapism. But with that being said, the one thing I want people to understand is that sometimes escapism in itself becomes the addiction, right? You watch too many programs and you don't do what you're supposed to do. You play video games all day long and you neglect certain things. Hell, you go to the gym 24/7 and you neglect things. I mean, there's different routes, right, where people take to escape whatever's troubling them, and sometimes that enjoyment, that I guess that feeling of not feeling that pain, you never wanted to go away because you don't want to feel the pain. But sometimes feeling that pain is necessary. Um, I trust me. I know I've been through depression from lost ones and other stuff. But sometimes, even the smallest things in our life, you have to sometimes stop, shut it down, and go back to life, no matter how painful it is, because those issues are never going to go away until you hit it head first. So definitely delve into your escapism. Just don't let it become an addiction for you. And that's pretty much the monologue for today.
Good shit, man. Good shit.
Anything you want to add to that, Two Beards?
Oh no.
Awesome.
Words of wisdom.
And hello to you, Zezka. So yeah, I wanted
How's
to.
this?
I was going to talk about politics, and I'm like, oh gosh, please no, let's not get that heavy. I was going to go into a real life story, which we'll probably get into a little bit later. Pertaining to cops. We'll share a little bit of Swole Scroll's backstory. But we might get to it. But without further ado, the point of it is, let's get into this foolishness, right? So,
all right, let's get it cracking.
All right. First topic. Now we're going to go through quick topics for those who are new to the show. These are just quick topics we're going to gloss over. We're not going to delve deep into. You hear that, Two Beards?
Yep.
Just real quickly, we're going to go through it, give our ideas. Maybe we might go back and forth, maybe once or twice, but that's it, right? So, first topic is we're going to talk about is for Assassin's Creed. It's basically the head creative director for Assassin's Creed, which is Ashraf Ismail, has been fired. This is not a surprise. We reported at the time when Ubisoft did their show, their E3 show at the time, that there was a lot of blowback from sexual allegations and so forth, and it hit like 4 or 5 of their top people in the brass. So it looks like right now, after the investigation, creative director Ashraf Ismail, of course, who was director of the new upcoming game Assassin's Creed, has been let go. Like we said back in June, he was being accused of attempting to engage in extramarital relationships with a fan he met through his position at Ubisoft. Once these accusations came to light, Ismail stepped down from his position as Assassin's Creed Valhalla creative director, and so forth. Right? So we've talked about this. I don't know if there's really much to add to it. Your thoughts, real quick, Two Beards.
Pretty simple. Don't shit where you eat. Like, if you are a person out there and you have a position of power, like, do not throw that position of power around to get ass or to get dick or whatever your preference is. Like, just don't do it. It's pretty simple. It's gonna come around to bite you in the ass, even if you're somebody who owns your own business. Do not use your power for sexual gain of any sort. Or gonna once again, broken record, beating the dead horse. Do not shit where you eat.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, right. So that I have nothing to say outside of that. Special says back again for another week. Welcome, and thank you for coming back. It's fine if you're late. It's fine. Thank you for showing. Thank you for coming.
Hey, Special.
Yeah, I mean, okay. So I'm trying to keep this brief, but people are people, right? You're going to want to engage in relationships with other people, but you have to understand, especially when you're in top positions, like he was. Sometimes those relationships are going to blow back, right? It's just the way it is, especially when you have money. So, yeah, I'm sorry for hitting the mic there. I understand for other people. Most people, you go out there. It's just some of the perks they feel that comes with the position and the fame. I understand. I'm not at that level, but I understand. I empathize. I hear you. But as Two Beer said, I'm not going to reiterate it, but there's always consequences to all actions, right? And you, as a person, you have to, balance it out. So it sucks. It sucks, but it is what it is. Anything else you want to add for that?
Mm-mm.
All right. So next one, this is a very interesting one that we're going through. No ID, and for all those, a lot of people may not understand who No ID. When it comes to hip hop or rap music, No ID is probably one of the best producers out there. And when we talk about producers, these are people who create tracks, whether it's remixes, originals, whatever, for a lot of the hip hop and rap artists. No ID is very big. If you've heard Jay-Z music before, you most likely have heard some of the tracks No ID has made. And the person who I don't like to even name on this show, Kanye West, is basically a student of No ID. So we come to find out that No ID has sold his entire catalog of music to Hypnosis songs. And basically what he stated was, he said, not many have the best intentions for the artists and the creators. Merck and Hypnosis team has shown that they are safe home for songs that score our lives. And basically what this basically means is that Hypnosis has acquired 100% of No ID's worldwide copyrights and publisher royalties. And they will, including writer's share of income on its 273 song catalog. Two Beers, how do you feel about this?
It's super interesting. Like it's an artist selling their catalog is always supposed to be a sin, because like
Mm-hmm.
you always hear like how so many people got screwed over royalties wise and everything like that. But it's like I also found it was interesting that they said Timberland did something similar
Yeah.
earlier. So I'm curious as to what the amount was offered. Like was it a retirement amount of money where it's like the royalties don't even matter anymore? Like I'm set straight after this,
Yeah.
because I'm very curious. Like to flip the question on you, like because well, many people may not know this, but Khan himself is a novice when it comes to beats. He enjoys the medium. So let's say that you got as big as one of these guys. Would you sell if the price was right, or would you be thinking more of along the line of you would want to keep the catalog within your estate?
That's very interesting that you asked that question, right? And and it takes me back to I think it was Prince, where Nas talked to Prince and he said, "Hey, I want to do a collab with you." And Prince was like, "Do you own your music?" And Nas was like, "No." He's like, "Well, come back to me when you do."
Yeah.
It's something special. And and when you think about, like, with Michael Jackson and the Beatles, when he bought all their rights and so forth, it part of me thinks that no matter what, until you go to your grave, if you're that big, you want to keep the rights to your music, because that's something that you want to pass down to your children, your grandchildren, and so forth. But then part of me also thinks, I don't know ID, his family, what he has may not be anybody other than that. Maybe he just wants to, retire and live, the rest of his days, peacefully, and not have to
Yeah.
worry about anything. So it's one of those weird situations. For me, I think I would want something that I could keep to pass on. That's what I believe. But yeah, it's one of those special situations. But that's actually a very, very, very good question. Prince is the realest. Special says 100. Prince was he was a bad motherfucker.
Yeah. I'm not even gonna tell you to watch your mouth because that's all truth.
Yeah, that dude. Whoa, whew, the stories you heard about Prince. Oh my. One thing I have to say, I'm happy for No ID. Right, one of my
Mhm.
favorite producers. I keep saying that. No ID's tracks are just wow. outside
Yeah.
of I think the only person I will put up there is why am I throwing a blank on his name? He just passed away. Um, Big producer a few years ago. Oh my goodness, you know who I'm talking about. He made like the he in fact he revolutionized a lot of the techniques people use in producing beats. Oh, I can't
Are
think
you
of his
talking?
name. Used to
Are you
do a
talking
lot of
about Dilla?
Tribe Called Quest music.
Are you talking
Oh,
about?
Jay
You're
Dilla.
not talking about?
Yes,
Yeah.
Jay
Okay.
Dilla. Yes, that's probably one of the only ones I really out there. You know, I put up there with no. I mean, I haven't heard a bad No ID track. But do you know who Hypnosis is?
I do not, but
Yeah,
I'm
that's
probably
the
going
only
to
thing.
look them up now.
Yeah, that's the only thing I question. Like, I don't know if they're a streaming service or not, but yeah, that's the only thing. I don't want to go too further into this, but I was curious because they own the rights to it. And I was wondering if they're putting it, if they're like their own streaming platform or not. Yeah, that's the only thing I was curious. But yeah, I'm happy for him. I'm definitely happy for him. Shout outs to No ID. Excellent, man. I'm glad you're doing well. so
Same.
So this one's a little bit of a head scratcher. So we know Jam Master Jay was murdered from Run DMC back in like 2002, right?
Yep.
And is I mean, I hate to say this, but it's almost damn near 20 years later, and now they're finally bringing charges to two of the people involved.
Hmm.
Like, why is this happening now? I go to YouTube ears. Why did it take so long? Almost 20 years later, for
That's what I'm curious about as well. Like I know, when it comes to our community, we can make it difficult for cops to investigate some certain things just because our lack of trust when it comes to police forces.
yes.
So like maybe they had a hard time due to that. But other than that, I want to find out more information because I want to know if this is just not one of those they're I want to find out like how they came to this conclusion that that these were the two people who actually did it. Like I want to hear about the evidence. I want to hear the routes that were taken to secure this win because um, I hope they do have the right two people because like it's about time that this death got justice. The drug thing threw me off as well because I was
Yeah,
trying to
yeah, I was
read it
about to
right,
read that. Yeah, go ahead.
and I mean, does this mean that they had did a drug deal with him before, but this time he decided he's like no because he's like I'm not distributing drugs in Maryland. So is it that he turned them down to be a distributor, and that's why they came to and shot him?
Yeah, I
And
wasn't
then
sure. I wasn't sure, but yeah,
because
it's weird.
I got a little confused while reading it. Another layer of fucked up was when you come to find out the one guy actually has like Jam Master Day Jam Master Day tributes all over his Instagram page.
Yeah, I didn't bring
So
that up. Yeah, GNS who's not here, he brought that up too. I forgot to add it, but yeah, that's kind of weird. Do you
yeah,
think it
so
was a
if
stan?
say it again,
Do you think he was a stan?
maybe because it's like if he actually was a trigger man or even there and helped out like with the killing, that is some that's some real like no compassion, no like inhuman shit right there.
Yeah,
That's that kind of like when you hear of the people who will shoot somebody and then go to the funeral and hug the mother and everything like that when they know they're the ones who killed the person.
yeah,
That's yeah, it's some real like hardcore shit there.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't have really much to add to it, but I'm just going to. I mean, I'm just going to echo your sentiments. So I 100% agree with pretty much everything you've said with this. The first one I'll start. The next one we'll go into our actual topics, and we'll start off with entertainment first. And we have an article from entertainment, and I'll actually start off with this one first because this one perplexes me too. Also, so it's come out that Lawrence Fishburne says one, he won't be back for the Matrix 4, but two, he was never invited. They went and they started filming the Matrix 4 and no one ever asked Lawrence Fishburne if he wanted to come back and do the sequel. Was he interested? And I want to start this off first because I find this interesting because it's like, uh, aren't you and Keanu Reeves still like doing the whole Hitman movie together? I mean, you brought Lawrence Fishburne in, you know, on the series. You're working together, and nowhere was it. You know, Keanu Reeves was like, "Oh, hey, by the way, we're making a Matrix movie. Do you want in, bro?" Like like like, where was he? I mean, they're making the fourth one now. It's supposed to come out the same time as the Matrix movie, and Lawrence Fishburne is in it. They brought him in as one of the big main characters in the series. John Wick, thank you, Zesko. Thank you. I couldn't think of the name of the movie. John Wick, like he came in, I think, on the second one, and then the third one they started bringing his character in more. I don't get it. So how is it that you have Keanu Reeves, Carrie Ann Moss, who, if I remember correctly, did Trinity die in the Matrix series? So you bring back her, who's dead, but you don't bring back Morpheus? You're bringing back.
Oh no, no, he saved her, right?
No, I thought she died.
Okay, I thought he
I don't know.
saved her
Maybe I'm
in
wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought she died. Maybe I'm wrong. Correct me, chat. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't remember. Boomer brain here. But then
it's been a while.
you even bring back Jada Pinkett Smith. You're bringing back all the characters, but you don't bring back Morpheus. You know, the guy who led the resistance, the one who
Yeah,
recruited Neo.
he's such an important part of the movie. It's real weird.
Okay, what's your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I know. I'm just echoing off everything you're saying. Like this was another head scratcher for me because I'm like, all right. I'm like, did Lauren say some shit that that pissed Lily off? Is it somebody else who's attached to the film that just doesn't like him? It like to have such a big part of the trilogy not be available, not to be in the fourth movie, especially since Neo's supposed to be he's supposed to be dead at the end of 3. And I'm not gonna even yell spoiler alert because if you haven't seen it yet, that doesn't count at this point. And even when they did those games that were supposed to continue they did those games that were supposed to continue the story. I remember Morpheus was trying to figure out why the Matrix wouldn't give them back Neo's body since he was already dead. What they were doing with Neo's body, that was supposed to be like the biggest mystery behind it. So.
Okay.
So I am curious to see what's going on with this series, but I am very interested in why that there's no Morpheus in there. Unless in her head Morpheus died died between movie 3 and movie 4. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, it's just weird, right? You would think that him being in John Wick with Keanu Reeves, basically the headliner for the next movie, that there will be talks about it, right? So I don't know. It seems very weird. Welcome, Gina. So I hope you're enjoying your time, sir. Zesko says I think he brought her back to life. So yes, she's agreeing with you. So maybe I'm incorrect. Like I said, it was probably most likely Neo I was thinking about because I remember the one bald guy died. I remember he died from the first one. And then I could have sworn Trinity died, but I guess not. Like you said, maybe she died and she was brought back. Memory's gone. I haven't seen the Matrix.
Hope you're having a good time.
Since forever. But they're going to reboot Morpheus. I hope not, says Cal. I really, really hope not. Anything else you want to add to this? I just find this really, weird.
I find it weird as well, and I also second you on. I hope they do not reboot Morpheus. Like you might as well just write him off, but at least hire the man so you can shoot his death scene instead of just saying he died off camera. But yeah, do not. I hope they do not reboot Morpheus unless this is supposed to be one of those. Unless it's one of those things that they're thinking that it's going to go beyond the fourth movie, and maybe this is one of those. It takes place in a small, enclosed part of the Matrix, and maybe Morpheus will be in the fifth movie. But I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. He says maybe they will make me write another play. I wish them well.
Yeah.
I hope it's great. I mean, what else are you supposed to say? Yeah, I wish you well. Zesko says they're going to get Michael B. Jordan to play the reboot Morpheus. Oh man, maybe they'll get Will Smith. He didn't get to play Neo, so maybe he'll play Morpheus.
There you go.
Oh man, so this one's an interesting one. This next one, so Olivia Wilde, actress. Actually, I liked a lot of her stuff she used to do back in the day, but now she's doing more directing. I think the biggest movie that she did was the one GNS saw. I didn't get a chance to see. It was oh my gosh, what was the name of that movie? I can't think about it. It was like a combination. Like I said, Boomer Brain. But no, they hate on Will. Okay, so let's go. But she basically said that she's going to be directing. That she talked out with Disney, and she will be directing the movie for MCU. And as we can see right here in the tweet, from here close to deal with Secret Marvel film, Olivia Wilde tweeted a little black spider. So most people are now thinking that she will be doing the Spider-Woman movie, which is very interesting. So for YouTubers, I ask you one question. One, how do you feel about this? And number two, is this a Sony or a Marvel film?
It's a Sony film, but they have
Yeah, because they own all the Spider films.
Yeah. I heard that it was confirmed that it's that's going to be Spider-Woman. As far I have no idea what to expect, which is great, and I'm happy that they're actually shooting a woman's movie from a woman's perspective. So yeah, go for it. I want to see what they put on screen.
Yeah, I'm very curious, and the only reason why I asked about Marvel is because a lot of the Spider-Man movies, and I know Sony wants to put a lot of the Spider-Man movies into basically the Marvel universe. That's why I question whether or not, even though I know all the rights are owned by Sony, whether or not it was going to be a Marvel Sony movie or if it's just going to be like more. Oh, I always said Morpheus, Morbius, a Spider-Man movie a Sony movie that wishes it was in the Marvel universe. But I'm very curious to see how they do this. Spider-Man is a very, very, very big franchise, and a lot of the spin-offs that are usually done by Sony are not usually good. And even though Venom sold well enough to get a sequel, it was not a good movie. Sorry, GNS. It was like a turd in the wind, as Venom puts it. But Spider-Woman is such a different character. I'm very curious to see how they do it, and whether or not it's separate or if it ties back to the Marvel Spider Universe. I'm really curious, because it seems like a lot of these Sony Spider-Man spinoffs are usually their own universe. It's kind of weird. It's weird. It's like DC doing, Snyder movies, while also doing their own new Batman movie. Right? It's just weird to me. It makes no sense, but. I wish the best for both.
Yeah, same here.
But speaking of DC,
my
boy Ben Affleck is back, baby. That's right. Ben Affleck will be Batman. Well, Bruce Wayne at least. One more time for the DC universe. I say university for the DC universe. He is being reported in the upcoming Flash movie that Affleck has agreed to return as Bruce Wayne, which makes me think that he probably won't don the costume anymore for the sequence. And then we also got more information. Also, is that not only is Henry Cavill back, not only is Ben Affleck back, not only are we getting the Snyder Cut, but Ezra Miller's not fired for choking a woman over in in Amsterdam. So I come
That's
to
amazing, right?
Yes. Come to you, Two Beers. How do you feel about Ben Affleck coming back, even if he never wears the Batman suit again?
That's pretty awesome. Like I really enjoyed his Batman for the short amount of time we got to see it on screen. So I think it's cool that we're going to get both him and Michael Keaton's Batman all in one movie.
Yes.
I hope they actually cross paths because that's going to be pretty dope. Uh, I still don't understand why Warner Brothers is shying away from just going full throttle with Henry Cavill. It's like it's um it's not rocket science at this point. Like he would
Can
print money for them.
Can I interrupt you 1 second?
Sure.
Supposedly tomorrow with DC fandom, Henry Cavill got his own panel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, something big's happening with Henry Cavill.
I cannot wait to see it. Man,
And and
that
and the
panel good.
yeah, well, we'll talk about that in a second because it's not on the list, and I'm going to bring it up. That is one thing I do want to bring up before we go into video games. But the interesting thing I'm hearing now is that Michael Keaton is actually has a, as it states here, a substantial part, right? So they're talking about Ben Affleck is going to be, I guess, the teacher. He's passing the mantle of I guess heroism to the Flash, similar to what we saw in the Justice League, where he's like, remember, just save one, to kind of
Mhm.
get him to be, get him up to that point. So I'm guessing he's going to be training Flash in the beginning of it before whatever happens to the point where I guess he goes into the multiverse because Michael Keaton, to my understanding, is playing his Tim Burton Batman. So I don't know if Michael Keaton is coming in from another reality to try to help get them to save the multiverse or what's going to happen with the storyline. I guess we'll find out a little bit maybe tomorrow, but
Yeah,
I'm
it's,
I'm I'm
I have
very I'm
some
very
questions
excited. You said you
because
had
I like
some questions. Go ahead.
because I was like I know it's supposed to be Flashpoint, or that's what they were saying at the
Mm-hmm.
beginning, and I'm like, so when they when when we found out that what's the actor who plays the Winchester's father?
Oh yeah, you're talking about the guy from from Walking Dead with the
Yeah,
leaf.
Negan.
Yeah, I know Negan
I
with the
can't
leaf.
believe
I
I can't
can't think of
remember
his
his
name
name.
right now, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So like when we found out that he's not playing Thomas Wayne in the movie, and then it's like Michael Keaton, I was like, oh, that's an interesting pick for Mike for Thomas Wayne since he did actually play Batman before. But then they're like, no, he's not playing Thomas Wayne. He's playing his version of Batman. So I'm like, so now has me thinking as well. I'm like, are they just gonna mesh him in being the darker, grittier Batman? Are they trying to say that that Ezra trying to save his mother gives us the Tim Burton Batman universe that we're going to get out of it. So like I'm Jeffrey Dean Morgan, that's his name. Yeah.
Yes,
So yeah,
that's what
I'm
happened. Yeah.
curious. I wonder how they're going to pull this off. It's cool because I honestly had no hype for the Flash movie at all, but like the more and more details that are coming out, the more and more I want to see it.
Sir, this movie is never coming out. How long has this movie been in the making for? It's never coming out. It's never coming out.
It's coming out after Wonder Woman.
Which will be never, because Wonder Woman's never coming out. Oh man. And yes, so Zesco says yes, Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck are back. What the fuck, of course, to what I was stating, and then yes, Flashpoint. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. So I want to get into the DC fandom real quick. Let me go to the website. So DC fandom is tomorrow for those who do not know. So DC fandom is tomorrow. You can actually go to DC fandom like I did right now under schedule.dcfandom.com/my schedule, and you can schedule what shows you want to actually see. And then I guess they send you a reminder and so forth for the different shows. But there's people are a little bit upset with DC fandom before it came out, right? So this was produced and this was first played out as this is a show for all the fans, right? This is it. This is your Comic-Con dedicated to nothing but DC for the fans. Your Hall H moments for all kinds of stuff, and you can come down, you can see, and it's all digital. But most of the shows are like 10 minutes long. The longest is the Batman, which is 30 minutes. So, and then the second longest is Snyder for his cut, which is 25 minutes. So if everything is only like 10 minutes, what are you getting out of these shows within 10 minutes?
They decided to follow the Nintendo Direct style. You're going to get the bite-sized, super small portions, but it's going to be packed with information. Everybody wins.
Come on, man. Like, and I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt, right? I know there's a lot of hatred right now that's coming for us, but keep in mind, people, we're in a pandemic situation. A lot of places can't film most of these movies. I mean, outside of Wonder Woman 1984, right? What can you, and Suicide Squad, what can you really show in terms of movies, right? You can't show Black Adam because they haven't even filmed anything for it. You can't show Flash because you just finally got a director that will actually stick with the movie. After going through 5 of them beforehand and trying to decide if you were going to even keep Ezra Miller even for the part. You can still show the Snyder Cut because that's done. That's just pre-production. That's already been filmed. But there's a lot of it that you don't have, right? So, but I would listen to 30 minutes, 10 minutes of The Rock and the director and the writers saying what they want to bring out of Black Adam, and then them talking about stories about how they feel about the character. I mean, that alone is 30 minutes.
What is this Black Adam you keep talking about?
It's this fictional movie that supposedly The Rock was supposed to be in, but it might be vaporware, like Spy Hunter. The movie that's evidently that he filmed back in the early 2000s, and no one has seen it.
Yo, I forgot all about that.
I know you have. Everybody has.
Dry.
Evidently, Spy Hunter, based off of the video game, was filmed in its entirety, and no one's seen it with The Rock in it. No one's seen it. In fact, we should send out a tweet to him right now and say, "Hey, Rock, whatever happened to Spy Hunter? I heard the movie was filmed, and will we ever get a chance to see it?" In fact, everybody, do a tweet right now to The Rock about the Spy Hunter. Use hashtag in the know. INTHEKNOE. Please, folks, let's try to find out what happened to Spy Hunter. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm up for anything. I guess something. If you give me 10 minutes of footage for all, and the directors give us if you give us 5 minutes of footage and the directors talk for 5 minutes, I guess, to set it up, so be it, right? That's what I'll take. But I'm very curious. The Batman. You probably have a little bit of B-roll footage you can still show for the Batman, because they did get some. They started recording, I think, in January, and then they had to shut shop basically in March because COVID started breaking out. So you probably still have some footage there.
Makes sense.
That's the only thing I could think of, right? Outside of like certain movies that are already done, what more can you really? And I know there's a lot of backlash, but what's your thoughts on fandom? Are you at least excited for it tomorrow?
Yeah, it's like there's some art shows that I want to see, hear about like certain titles. I'm beyond curious to see this trailer for the Snyder Cut, and I am also I hear we're going to get to see footage that we have not seen of Wonder Woman yet.
Yes,
which is
Cheetah.
probably going to reveal Cheetah.
Yep, that's what I'm hearing. It's going to be, we're going to get to see Cheetah full furry and all. It's going to be like Cats. Universal, the Cats movie all over again.
I'll make comparisons like that, man.
So yeah, I'm thinking about tomorrow, since it starts at 1:00 tomorrow. I'm thinking about can we stream it?
Oh, doing like a watch party?
Yeah.
I don't see why not.
I might do it in Discord so that way we don't have any problems.
No, makes sense.
But yeah. I think let's look at that. I'm very curious because they kick off with that. Let me see. Can I see where's the thing? So evidently, supposedly, they're supposed to be introducing Flash. They're supposed to be Henry Cavill one. The Batman. I'm just looking, folks, real quickly. Yeah, it's just a. But the good news is, if you miss one, basically they redo a lot of them. Yeah, they rerun them. It looks like they have like basically 8 hours of footage, and then they just rerun it again, over and over.
Which I also think is pretty smart.
Yeah, it does. Anything else you want to add for fandom before we?
I was looking forward to it. Nope.
Okay, yeah. I hope that Marvel does something just as interesting. We'll see.
Yeah, they should definitely. They're probably sitting back to see how this goes. If it ends up being trash, they're like, we're not doing that.
No, yeah, pretty much. Oh, here we go, folks. Here we go. So last week we talked about Vampire the Masquerade, and oh man. Yeah, So Vampire the Masquerade is a game that I've been looking forward to play. I've never played the first one. I heard a lot of stuff. And now we find out that two of the people basically for Vampire the Masquerade have been fired. Let's read real quickly from the Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines what they stated from Paradox, right? So they put out on their page an update on the organizational changes for Bloodlines 2. Hi everyone! Paradox Interactive and Hardsuit Labs have some important updates to share today. We recently shared that we were making some organizational changes to Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines 2 team. As promised, we will now give an update on what that means. Lead narrative designer Brian Mitsoda, which we're going to talk about, and creative director KNOE are no longer part of the team at Hardsuit Labs. This was a joint decision made by the leadership of Hardsuit Labs and Paradox Interactive. So keep that in mind. The developer and the actual publisher, right? We appreciate and value the contributions of Brian and Kai, which were instrumental in establishing the game's storyline and dark tone, and have helped to ensure that we are making a true successor to the iconic Bloodline. We wish them both the best on their future endeavors. Wink, wink. With that, we are excited to announce that Alexandra Mandrika has come aboard as creative consultant, filling in the creative director role for Bloodline 2, and will help us in the final stages of development. Alexandre is committed to following the vision that is in place and successfully bringing Vampire Masquerade 2 to the fans. Alexandra has been in the industry for more than 20 years, has worked on iconic franchises such as Assassin's Creed, Warhammer 40,000, Far Cry, and more. And with a long history of shipping excellent franchises full of bugs, we are excited with Alexander brings to the game and World of Darkness. These changes to the team are focused on one thing: to bring the best possible Vampire the Masquerade game. We will share further updates as they occur, right? So, typical, corporate best. We wish you the best on your future endeavors. Everything was amicable, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So, we haven't heard from Kai. But Brian Mitsoda, as they said, was suddenly terminated, did have something to say. So, let's read to what Brian said. This is Brian Mitsoda's statement in full. Until recently, I was the narrative lead on a video game called Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 for Heartsuit Labs Incorporated, being published by Paradox Interactive, which owns 30% of Heartsuit Labs. Keep that in mind. Remember, they said it was joint. They own 30%. Money, people. After almost 5 years involvement with the studio, I was suddenly terminated on July 16th, 2020. This came as a shock to me, is underselling it. I've worked on Bloodlines 2 for almost 5 years. The story and main cast were initially conceived in my living room. I helped develop the pitch for Heartsuit Labs and helped pitch the project to Paradox in Las Vegas. I've been in charge with the narrative since the beginning. Worked long days and sometimes weekends to deliver a successful Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. And I've never been led to believe that I hadn't succeeded. Very obviously, I have been involved in the PR and marketing side of things, even though it was one of the most difficult parts for me. I'm a pretty private person. Press and crowds tend to heavily trigger my social anxiety, which, if you ever wondered about the gloves, they're like armor that make me feel less exposed in situations that trigger my anxiety. So, real quickly, before he goes into it, he says, I've also been involved in PR and marketing side. When they were first showing a lot of Vampire Masquerade, they put his name on everything. They were like, yes, Brian Masoda from Vampire Masquerade 1. Keep in mind, all you people who loved it, we brought him back for part 2. So they were showboating him in from a marketing standpoint to give credibility to the project. But let's continue on. Bloodlines and the fandom of the game mean the world to me, so I lent my legacy with the franchise, my name, and my participation in marketing efforts for the game, even when it was intensely difficult and took a mental and physical toll. This is all because I wanted to do what was best for the game and the team. The pride in the work and the fan expectations and the support from coworkers who started out as fans kept me going through the long 5 years. And I'm incredibly disappointed and frustrated to say that this is where it ends for me on the project. I was not part of the conversations that led to the decision to delay production, and to my knowledge, there were no delays caused by Bloodline's narrative development. I am confident and proud of the work that I and my team put forward. When that work will be seen, what form it will take is unknown to me. It was a pleasure to work on this game, and with many people at Heartsuit Labs and Paradox, I'm sorry I won't be able to see it to the end. I spent years on some of the best characters and dialogues that I ever wrote. It meant a lot to hear from the Bloodlines community, and I do hope that what's finally delivered is as satisfying as I intended it to be. Thanks to all of you who supported me through the project. So I'm going to go with you two, Beards. What's your thoughts to what's happening in the background of this?
It's probably going to be pretty similar to what you're thinking.
Okay.
I'm thinking people who aren't like involved in the creative process, like money got involved. They may have felt that this wasn't the game wasn't where it needed to be by the time where they wanted it to be, and like they needed this a scapegoat and somebody to cut funding from to make sure that the people investing still stay happy. So they're like, hey, we just cut this person for the amount of money we're paying them. So that's what I think it is. It just came down to numbers and like getting rid of somebody that could make them feel happy money wise, and basically saying that the project can go forward at a cheaper price.
I'm with you. I'm with you. But I'm looking at it almost in another direction that says this, right? The writing and everything, the dialogue that him and his team created, is done. They got their worth out of him. At this point, right now, it's time to just let this guy go. What purpose does he serve? If you have a game that was supposed to ship in a year that you now delayed till next year, from a writing standpoint, everything has got to be done. Only thing you're worried about now is just bugs within the game and development within the game.
That's still fucking dirty, especially if you use his name to eat off of this whole time.
Yeah, they did, and it is very dirty. And I'm very curious when the game comes out if you'll tell us how much of it is still him and how much of it was left. Because think about it, they fired Kai, the director, and they fired him, who was head of the writing team. They have said nothing about the writing team. They said they were bringing somebody up to be more of the director for the
Yeah, good
game,
point.
but
Good point.
nothing on the writing team. So I don't know what happened with the direction. Maybe they wanted something this, and he fought back against a couple of things with Kai. I don't know, but from a writing standpoint, I think it was more of a we used you, we got everything we wanted out of you. Let's kick you to the curb and move on.
Yeah, I think you're right.
That's
Another
pretty
thing I think
dirty. Go ahead.
another thing I think sucks is like you can tell how much like this guy was into it, like how much passion he had for the
Mm-hmm.
material.
Yeah.
Like that really it really sucks when you take somebody who was that much into your that was that much into what you were guys making. Like even him saying the ideas were developed right in his living room. Like you don't want to lose a person like that on your team.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's because like hey if this does astronomical, like if it gets great ratings all across the board and people are saying like the dialogue was great, the story was clever, like if you're that writer after you were just dismissed like that, if they come back to you saying they need a story for the sequel, are you going to be quick just to jump back into that after being treated like shit at the end of the process?
No, but they got a whole team that he's trained and given all of his ideas to, so they'll just eat off of that.
It's
Maybe
still
he
not the
was,
same though.
maybe he was already thinking about the sequel and already discussing it.
Mm,
This
mm.
guy this is the funniest thing, but
That grimy.
maybe that's what it already was. I don't know. It just seems pretty scummy, and then you start. I
Oh,
don't know.
it's
Maybe
super
it has
scummy.
something to do with his anxiety, right? That maybe they want him to go places, and he had issues with it because they were shopping his name around, and that's why they got rid of him. After everything was said, it's like, dude, I don't want to deal with this guy anymore. All right, we got what we needed from. Let's toss him to the corner, to the
It's
curb, and let's
crazy though.
move on.
You would think that there'd be communication though. It's
Yeah.
like crazy how many times you hear about this sort of thing like in the industry and
Mm-hmm.
how you hear like Kojima's like he's a serial abuser of this sort of stuff. Like how in the hell you're not even going to contact David Hayter to let him know that he's no longer the voice of Snake? The way he
Yeah.
finds out is through a fucking trailer. And then the woman who voiced Quiet was on a stream with Young one time, and she kind of broke down crying because she was talking about he had promised her the role of Fragile in Death Stranding, and then all of a sudden it was another actress, and she didn't even
Mm-hmm.
know. Like he just
Wow.
doesn't say shit. Like when you don't muse him anymore, he just like tosses you to the fucking curb.
Wow.
Like yeah, so I'm wondering when he's gonna do the same thing to Norman Reedus when that's gonna
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy, man. It's
It
just
is
wild.
right.
It's wild. It's sad too. I have a lot of hope for this game, but the more I hear about it, the more of a turnoff it is for me. I might just go play
Yeah.
the original and just play the original and move on with that.
Well, at
Bad
least you know
graphics and
that
all.
like at least you know even though they treated like their staff shitty, at least you know that if this guy comes out and says they kept his story intact, at least you can feel good about it, like playing the game and still getting to see the narrative that he wanted everybody to see and the
That's
hard work
true.
that he put into it.
Yeah, that's true. That's definitely
Sheesh,
true.
man.
So this was a follow up from last week. We're going to do a couple of follow ups this week. We got a second follow up for everybody in the world of gaming, and it comes into dun, 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 Halo Infinite. Yep, your doggy. So for Halo Infinite, what we're hearing now is that basically this story comes in from Thurrett. Take it, folks, for a grain of salt. I've never heard of Thurrett.com. I don't know who they are. But evidently, somewhere they got the story talking about Halo and a lot of the development issues that came out with it from working with basically a third party group. They highlight that the trailer that we saw at E3, the really good looking one that said in game graphics, was actually not actual in game graphics, that it was outsourced to a third party contractor who actually made that trailer. And at the time, it wasn't game footage because no one knew what the system specs were. They didn't know anything about it, and then they talk about a lot of difficulty that 343 has had with trying to make work with these third party companies, and that's why we basically got Craig, the spokesperson for the new Halo, and then also there actually for some reason I didn't even know Halo even went to Showtime. I remember Halo being the HBO exclusive, but evidently there's a Halo TV series that's coming out on Showtime, and evidently that took up a lot of 343's time for them trying to create this Halo TV show for Showtime. So I'm gonna start off with you two beers. What's your thoughts on the Halo storyline and all the issues?
All I'm gonna say is I called it.
Good.
Like, yeah, so because it's like when I was seeing all this stuff, I'm like, and when you were getting like little small tidbits of things that were coming out, I'm like, this is all way too familiar to like the stuff that BioWare went through with the growing pains of a new engine. Like too many third parties working on the game, the right hand not knowing what the left hand is doing, it, and at the same time having to move into and learning a new engine instead of just like it's like, hey, it's just sometimes I wish people would take the whole smarter not harder thing into equation. I know like the good point that you made that if they working on their own engine, they don't even have to do the 5% to Unreal anymore. But like work with what you know, build the game up, have a nice solid looking game that's gonna look amazing in Unreal 4, especially it's gonna look amazing on the power of that system. And then you can go ahead and make the process of switching the assets and everything over to your slip space engine, and make it one of those like patches that replaces make it one of those update patches that replaces the downloaded data already on your system. Like do it after the fact, so you make sure you still have your game out there. You make sure you still have it ready by a launch site, and you still make sure it looks fucking amazing instead of what we got. So yeah, I just don't know why these bad decisions keep being made all the time. I don't know if it's an ego thing. I don't know if it's like too many chefs in the kitchen, but it's like I know it's a lot more complicated than just being like people on the outside looking in, but it just feels like it's sort of things that shouldn't be done. Like you shouldn't be making these type of decisions on the eve of that you have a new system coming out. You shouldn't be making these sort of decisions with your flagship title. Like I'm sorry if I'm even if I'm giving full freedom to 343, like there has to be some caveats there. I have to flat out say to them that like, yo, this is our flagship title. If you need extra hands on deck, we will give you the budget for it. I don't want third party people working on it. I want it all in house. I want the best 343 has to offer. Like maybe I'm asking for too much.
No, no, you're not. And this is what brings me up because right now we have basically the E3 trailer that we're talking about where it looks incredible, and of course the one we trailer we got looks nothing like this, right? So
Mm-hmm.
so I think this article brought up some very good points, right? Whether you believe the article or not, there's still some valid points to it, right? Point number one, and this brings me back to what I discussed when we first reviewed Halo Infinite. It's 2019. You know your system's coming out in 2020, and you don't have a game. Why aren't you delaying it?
Yeah.
Like I don't understand it. And you know you have all these issues. Why is your marketing team going, oh, by the way, Halo multiplayer is going to be free and running at 120 frames per second? How do you know it's going to run at 120 frames per second when you don't even have a game?
Yeah. Oh god, it's like Crackdown all over again.
It is. It is. It
It'll
is.
be multi-structural environments. You'll be able to kill the bosses any way you want. Went from bosses to the environments will only be multi-structural in multiplayer. Went from that to there'll be a see-through neon light buildings. that the panels just fall off when you shoot into them. Fantastic work, guys. Good shit.
I don't get it. It's like I don't understand it, and it's like I look at this right, and I'm like, I remember when this trailer came out, and we're looking at it now, and I'm like, and people were complaining about it. I'm like, dude, it looks pretty good, right? It's what I expect, high quality, good lighting, have it running at 60 frames per second, good lighting, shadow. That's what I want, right? But we don't even get this from the trailer that they showed us. And of course, now we know that this was a third-party group that just made this trailer. Like, hey, yeah, here's the models. Make this trailer for us, put it at high quality. This is what you were talking about, the slice of pie or whatever you called it.
The vertical slice.
The vertical slice that you were talking about. But like I said, it comes back to the main thing. I don't understand how, and you've brought it up perfectly. You're Microsoft. You have a flagship title, Halo. You've been working on this title for 5 years. I don't want to hear about issues with the new system that you're working with, new engine with the slides. I don't care. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about it. You showed me this trailer in what, 2018, 2019, somewhere around there, and you didn't have a game. And come the end of 2019. If you can't show me a basic demo of the game, one map and multiplayer, and you can't show me that for in-game, even if it's running on the specs, you can't show me that for in-game, there you have a problem. This game is nowhere near finished. It's literally 2 years, 3 years from being finished if you don't even have that.
Yeah, I was going to say, what have you guys been working on this whole time? I mean, that may bring into the rumor that the game was like 60 to 70% done in Unreal, and they had to start over from scratch in Slipspace. If that's the case, that makes me even more angry to know that that sort of decision was made because it's fucking stupid. But like, if Unreal can throw together a fake tech demo for the PS5 to show off how new consoles will benefit from the Unreal 5 engine, like, what the fuck are you guys doing over there?
Like, I don't know. I don't know.
How could you actually look at that and be like, yes, play it up on the big screen? And what makes me even better was when that shit first started off and it's doing the storyline and it's showing the making of the mock armor. Oh, yo, this shit is looking fucking fly, man. I'm like, yo, I was like, bring it on. This shit's gonna be dope. And then we got that.
We got fucking Craig.
Yeah.
Oh god, dude.
Oh man.
Oh, god, fucking Craig, man.
Craig's face says it all, dude. He's like, like, man.
Oh god, dude. Oh my god. For those who don't know what we're talking about, Craig basically, and I'll real quickly show it to you guys. So basically, Craig is this. This is somebody did a blow up at the texture map, and as you can see, their face has no. It's like it's just a texture map face. It has nothing. Sorry, wrong thing. Sorry, folks, wrong street. There we go. There we go. It has nothing on it. I apologize. It has nothing. So they basically they've used this picture and they call it Craig. And basically, that's the meme for all of Halo. Like, it's just, man. It's just so mean. It's just so mean. Craig, yeah. Oh god, like, this is PS5, and this is Xbox Series X, yeah. That's what you get. The Craig meme. It's everywhere. Oh god, dude. Craig. Oh my god. They should be ashamed of themselves, man. And I know you have a lot of excitement for Microsoft and a lot of stuff. And like I said, I want to, but I hate to say I told you so. But I said, dude, before the systems even were announced, I'm like, dude, I'm being strict on Microsoft because when it comes down to actually launching systems,
Yeah,
nobody
like this.
botches it worse than Microsoft. And you're like, dude, you're being too harsh. Da da da. I'm like, dude, I just want to make sure they're making the right decision from having a game that shows off to the system to everything, right? And the one game that shows off the system is fucking Craig. That they that right there will sum up Microsoft's launch perfectly. Oh god, fucking Craig.
Yeah, they might as well had like one of the things that seemed that was real smart that Sony did was that by taking knowing that they wouldn't have a full-fledged AAA game finish is taking the Spider-Man DLC, turning it into its own game, and just like using the PS5 to boost its visuals. Like
Fucking Craig.
I think they actually should have did something similar, like take something that was take something that was a smaller game that was almost done, and just boost it up and like change some visuals over, so on and so forth, and just make it appear as if it's a launch game. But I don't.
And
Whew.
GNS says you guys are something else. Craig the ball sack.
Man, Craig's grown on me though, man. He needs to be a playable character in the game.
Oh man, fucking Craig. All right, let's go into our last story, which is us coming back because we said before. Actually, hey, do you want to say anything else before we move off from Craig and Halo?
Nah,
And I'm just telling you, dude. Would you agree now that you think that that Microsoft is now almost doing the Xbox One type botch for this launch?
you mean the way that they're fucking up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like it's going to go down in the record books worse than the Xbox One.
Oh no, I don't think it's going to go down worse than the Xbox One.
Give them time, sir.
Because even with the way that they're fucking up now, they still have some positive output and stuff going on, like the chipset the chipset event that recently went down. Like a lot of people walked away with a new understanding, like the stuff that's people keep hearing about, the way third party games play on both the machines. Like I think at launch, like yeah, PS5 is gonna have like the biggest numbers, but I think as time goes by and people see the actual leap between the two systems, I think even though people don't need to buy the system and they don't care if you buy the system, I think people will. I think people are going to go ahead and get it because of the price, and and that alone, even though they're fucking up on showing the actual games, which is very important, I think they're handling everything else great. I think they're handling the customer first portion great. I think they're handling the value portion great. I think they're handling the marketing outside of the games. I think they're handling that part great. So even though they do have this black eye, it's nowhere near as bad as the Xbox One launch, with the telling people like basically talking down to the people that you want to buy your system, and like and giving like all these like horrible like just the way that they just the way that they wrap their packaging, the word that they the way they're wording about the system, and even the price of it was dumb. So no, there's no way I'm thinking this is going to be an Xbox One launch again.
Well, we didn't cover this in any stories, but supposedly the price from the Xbox based on this Taco Bell Mountain Dew deal that people have been looking at, it looks like the price is anywhere from $550 to $600, depending on how much it is with Halo. Did you hear about this?
I definitely did.
Yeah. So if it's coming out at $600 price tag,
There's no way.
dude, they're done. That
Yeah,
PlayStation 3 came out at $600 price tag, and they killed it. Oh, you'll work two jobs for a PlayStation 3. That's what won the Xbox Microsoft the freaking 360 Xbox 360 PlayStation 3 war.
yeah.
Until they
But
lowered
yeah,
it down to $400, they were done. It was a wrap.
yeah. There's no way that system's coming out for $600. That, I think that's part of the sweepstakes
I,
things where
dude,
they're just throwing
dude,
out a. I think they're throwing out an estimate because nobody knows what the price
dude.
of the system is yet.
Yeah, they don't want to drop that price because right now they know when they drop that 600 price, people are going to go crazy, especially when Sony undercuts them.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
Oh, we might be coming back to that, sir.
Maybe, but I feel extremely confident on this that that box is not going to be higher than $500.
600. You going to be a Sony person if it's $600?
I'm buying both of them.
No, no, no. I'm just saying, if it comes out at $600 and you're not spending $1,100 right off the bat, plus $1,100 straight off the bat for it, are you gonna be a Sony person?
No, I don't do the console wars.
Meaning you're gonna buy a Sony first, and that's what you're gonna be game on.
Oh, do you mean am I going to buy a Sony first? Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. You're gonna
well,
be a
no,
Sony
I can
man.
still buy both of them because like I'll just buy the Lockhart for much cheaper.
Not the Lockhart is 500. If that's
The
600,
Lockhart ain't
Lockhart's
gonna be
500.
$500.
Dude, I'm
Why the
just trying to
Lockhart
tell
gonna
you.
be cost more than the Xbox One X?
Dude, I'm
Come
just
on,
trying to
dog.
tell you.
Come on,
All right,
dog.
all right. We'll move on. I'm just telling you, dude. You heard this first, folks. You heard this first. You heard this first. When it comes out, I'm replaying this episode in its entirety for this man to listen to. All right.
If that shit comes out of that high, like they're literally like saying, "Please kill us. We don't want to be in this business anymore."
They might be.
Oh shit!
Oh, get Game Pass while you do it, so while you snap us, get Game Pass. All right, let's move on. So, this is our last of 3 topics that we're revisiting. So let's do this real quick. So, Meg the Stallion. Remember, folks, when we talked about with GNS about how Meg the Stallion basically said that the singer Tory Lanez, singer rapper, shot her 2 times in the foot. Well, it looks like some people got at Meg on the on Instagram, pissed her off. More importantly, it was Tory Lanez and his marketing team, and this is what Meg had to say. And then we'll actually play a little bit of her actual Instagram. In a fiery Instagram session on Thursday night, Megan Thee Stallion claimed that the rapper Tory Lanez is indeed the person who shot her in her July 12th incident in Los Angeles. In the early hours of the day, Lanez was arrested for possessing a concealed weapon. Megan and 2 other people were in the vehicle with him at the time of the arrest, although the shooting took place beforehand. And she stated, "Yes, this ninja Tory shot me." She says, "You shot me, and you got your publicists and your people to talk to these blogs lying and shit. Stop lying." So she goes into the story, which we'll actually play right now. We're not going to play all of it; it's like 5 minutes, but we'll play enough for you guys to hear the actual story. Let me unmute real quick. There we go, and let's hear Meg Thee Stallion talk about basically being shot by Tory Lanez.
I get out the car. I'm done arguing. I don't want to argue no more. I get out. I'm walking away. This nigga from out the back.
Oh, I apologize. I paused it for a second. Real quickly, for those listening in the podcast, she's going to drop the N-word multiple times. I can't bleep it out. I apologize, folks. It is what it is. I can't control what recorded, people say, but this is her words.
Backseat of the car, start shooting me. You shot me. I ain't get cut by no glass, but let me tell you why they saying that. When the police, because the people in the neighborhood, there's a witness. When the police came, because the neighbors called the police, this did not happen at Kylie's house. This happened damn near back at the house I was staying at. I was just trying to get home. We was 5 minutes away from my spot. The police come. I'm scared. All this shit going on with the police is shooting motherfuckers for anything. The police was literally killing black people for no motherfucking reason. Soon as the police tell us all get out the motherfucking car, the police is really aggressive. You think I'm about to tell the police that we niggas, us black people, got a gun in the car? You want me to tell the laws that we got a gun in the car so they can shoot all of us up? Nigga, I'm scared. It's a fucking helicopter over us and some more shit. Why the fuck would I tell the laws somebody got a gun in this car and this nigga shot me? So I can get shot, you can get shot, she can get shot, he can get shot. I ain't tell the police what happened immediately right then because I didn't want to die. I don't want the police to shoot me because it's a nigga with a gun in the car. I'm leaking, I'm bleeding. Motherfucker, somebody, I'm lying, bitch. Did I pay a helicopter to come over me and record my feet leaking blood? No. How the fuck I'ma fake that? I didn't tell the police nothing because I didn't want us to get in no more trouble than what we was already about to get in. The fuck? I get to the motherfucking hospital, the police bitch being so rude to me. Well, what's going on? Like, da-da-da-da, you're being detained, da-da-da. Ma'am, I'm being detained, I'm leaking. But I'm still not saying what happened. Shit crazy. The motherfucking doctor, the police finally let me go. I ain't go to jail. Them 3 motherfuckers went to jail. I get to the hospital, the doctors do x-rays on my feet. Oh, ma'am, you got bullets in your feet, got bullet fragments in your other foot. I'm thinking the doctors is the police, so I'm still trying not to tell them, like, no, I didn't know I got shot. You know what I'm saying? I'm scared. Like, I've never been shot before. I don't have to lie about that. Why would I lie? You want me to be a bad person so bad, and y'all motherfuckers want to believe the lie before you believe the truth. Stop trying to come on the internet acting like a black woman, a grown-ass black woman, really got any reason to be lying on another grown-ass black man when all the shit fucked up going on in the world right now. If you really want to tell the motherfucking truth, I've tried to save this nigga. Even though he shot me, I tried to spare him.
So, there we go. So, we're going to cut it off right there. So, as you heard from Meg Stallion, basically the cops came, and she wasn't about to say, hey, yeah, we got guns in the car, knowing the history of how cops are shooting basically unarmed black people, let alone black people. So I'm guessing from this story, real quickly before I pass it on to you two beards, that basically Tory Lanez and his publicists are saying that the holes in her foot were due to broken glass falling into her feet, even though she has bullet fragments basically in her foot from being shot in both of her feet by this guy. So, what's your thoughts now that we're getting even more information from Meg Thee Stallion, Two Beards?
First, I just gotta cover about like how fucked up the internet is and how fucked up allowed being anonymous behind the computer allows you to say the most shittiest fucked up things to people. And like if you just saw some of the stuff that was being thrown this young woman's way, it's like blood boiling, like some of the dumb shit that was said to her. And like and then people like there's one like picture tweet that keeps going around where somebody's like I thought you were a savage, and I'm like, come the fuck on, guys. And like now that we know, like more and more things point to the fact that that Tory did shoot her, whether it was he was trying to keep her in the car or if it went off by accident or whatever the case it is. Like this just I don't even know how to like word myself on this except for
get it out, man. Say your piece.
I think he should. I think this is like this should be his third strike career wise. Like he just keeps doing dumb shit. Like he's one of the only people I've seen who keeps on kamikazing his career, somehow phoenixing back from the ashes again, and just doing dumb shit over like constantly. And this shit this shit takes it to a whole nother level. And if she was like nice enough to actually keep this shit to herself, why do you have your PR team going around spreading lies?
Exactly.
Like, how fucking dumb are you? Like, yeah. So I wish I could say I wish I could say that that people would be done with him after this. But the sheer amount of people I saw coming to his aid and wanting to take up for him for over this and trying to come up in their head for any good reason that he would have had to shoot her And I'm like, man, we like human beings are some fucked up creatures, man. Some super
Yeah.
fucked up creatures. So yeah, I'm glad she was able to heal. I'm glad she came out of this with a new perspective. I wish she didn't have to go through it, but I hope he I hope he gets whatever he's supposed to get from his involvement in what he done. And yeah, that's yeah. I don't really have much more to say on it.
Yeah. I guess when you hit fame, one of the hardest things you have to do, one of the biggest things you have to do is just shut off the internet. And Meg is young. She's very young. She's only 25. I understand it. She grew up in an era where where basically the internet is life. You don't turn off social media. But just to read a real quick excerpt from the article itself, it says, I tried to keep the situation off the internet, but you dragging it. Megan begins in Thursday's IG session, unspooling a series of explanation to Lane's supporters that have apparently made in the wake of the incident. Motherfuckers claiming that I hit him. I never hit you. Motherfuckers are like, she mad because she trying to fuck with Kylie Jenner. No, I wasn't. So like it's like, even if she smacked him, this that's a reason for you to pull out two guns and shoot this woman.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
It, uh, and the fact that she basically lied, basically, so nobody would get shot, and none of this shit would happen because, unfortunately, we're treated so unfucking fairly when it comes to the criminal system. Guilty before innocent. Um, it it's just a sad situation, man. And I hope, like I said, if all of this is true, I don't know any reason why she would be lying. But if all this shit is true, I hope this motherfucker gets what he deserves, man.
Yep.
And fuck all these fucking stands who go, through hell and back to protect their idols. Fuck all these stands.
Yep.
If the person that you support is a piece of shit, then they're a piece of shit. There's no reason to support them. Unless you're a piece of shit too. That's just the way I look at it, man. Right? I know,
Agreed.
Kanye, you're a hypocrite. You listen to Kanye West music and you don't like Kanye West. Hey, man, I like beats. If Kanye put out that fat beat and it come in playing, I ain't skipping. I'm okay. I know Two Beers will, but I ain't. That's just who I am.
I ain't listened to
I know.
Yeah, I haven't listened to a Kanye track since my Dark Twisted Fantasy. That's the last Kanye album I've listened to.
Thank God, I haven't even listened to that. All right, so the last article before we go into our what the fuck of the week. Wow, keeping this stream pretty short so far. It's a weird one, right? So remember, like back in June, I think it was like 2 months ago, 3 months ago, when people were reporting that Kim Jong Un died, and they were talking about, hey, yeah, his sister Kim Yo Jong is going to wind up taking office, right? Question number one, because I don't know, and it's very rare that we have to know nothing, opinion on everything, reminding people what the no stands for. It's very rare that we talk about, outside, international issues, right? But this one is a very interesting one, right? Because we understand Kim Jong Un, and I guess we could say we understand the threat that he can be, right? Not only to the U.S. but to other countries, right? If he decides, I don't like something one day, and I want to go to war, right? And now it's coming out that basically, I guess because he has a lot of stress, maybe that would explain a lot his disappearance. He's now starting to sign over basically leadership rights to his sister, making her basically the number two. So, number one for you, have we seen Kim Jong-un? Now, I know there's a picture with him and his sister. I don't know how recently that picture is.
Footage.
Yeah, because I'm curious. Because remember, when no one saw from him, people were like, oh, well, in Korea, he was cutting a ribbon of something or something, but there was never any pictures. And I have yet to see anything saying, like recently, showing Kim Jong Un, right? So I don't know if this mofo is like on life support and they're just signing over everything before they transfer over power. What's your thoughts on this? And are you scared if his sister Kim Yong Jong actually gets the power? Do you feel a threat of a war coming if she does ascend the ranks to power?
I think he's dead, and
Damn.
I'm serious. Like even when they said he was cutting the ribbon, there is no way there would not be video footage of that. There's no way they would not have it broadcasting all over their news for their people of their dear leader cutting a ribbon. So I think this is excuse me. I think this is all I think this is all for smoke and mirrors because she's actually the real leader now, and they're just slowly getting people used to it by having him so-called sign certain powers over to her, so he can be relieved of stress. He's dead, and am I afraid of her receiving more power? No, I think whoever in that family gets control, it's going to be more of the same crazy no matter who's running. She might be more efficient, more ruthless than he was, but still going to be the same thing. Um is she going to end up testing nukes every other month? Probably not. And maybe unless she's going to do them and pretend that Kim is doing them just to make people think that he's still alive. But yeah, I don't think that there's any real threat from that country.
Yeah, they said, but Kim Jong Un has been absent from several high recent level meetings, including the gathering of the ruling Workers' Party on Wednesday. I don't like I said, if anybody who follows anything in Korea, especially North Korea, let me know because I think it was like South Korea was the one who reported that he was at some kind of ribbon cutting or something. Excuse me, but yeah, I don't think anybody's seen this guy,
Nope.
and and I'm just curious, and I don't know, man. I think if she takes it, we might be going to war. We definitely may be. I like part of me thinks that maybe he had a thing for Trump, you know, and that
Mhm.
was cool, and he's willing to do all these things because who knows? Maybe someone idolizes Trump for whatever reason. I don't know why anybody, but I see him all
Oh
the time.
no,
People who idolize him,
he
but
was smart enough to know that if you he was smart enough to know if you kiss Trump's ass and you butter him up, then Trump will praise you and let you get away with a lot of shit.
that is true.
Like
That means a lot, and that means a
yeah,
lot. Being a dictator and getting praise from America, yeah, yeah, it goes a long way. Look at him.
yeah,
Look how he bows to us, to our power. Yeah,
yep,
yeah, I can see it.
yeah. So
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
after he buttered him up and saying that he was such a great leader and everything like that, like every time after that when he would do one of his dumbass nuclear tests. Like he got no anger or anything from the president over here. Like when they basically when our own intel basically said that they were still working on nuclear stuff, the only thing he could say is like I hope that's not true. Like we spoke to when I spoke to him, he said that they weren't, and I have no reason not to believe him. It's like he's my friend. He said good things about me. Yeah, yeah. So it's like yeah, they she can do the same thing if she wants to. She can butter him up, um, and he can get his useless photo ops out of it if he wants to, while she carries on business and does what she wants to do. But I don't think them them trying to do war with any country will not benefit them in any way, shape, or form. I think the only two reasons they have not been wiped off the map yet is one because of their relationship with China, and two is because they share the same land space with South Korea, and they always threaten that would be where the first nuke would go, and people actually care about allyship wise with there's a lot of people who are allied with South Korea. So I think that's the only two things that's allowed them to operate the way that they have throughout all these years.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but he did. That dude ain't alive.
Well, according to an article, right, by Business Today, they state that Kim Jong Un ended his media blackout after a month with this meeting. He was photographed for the first time on Thursday, July 8th.
Where's the picture at?
I don't know. Maybe this is the picture. Let me show you. Maybe this is the picture. I don't know.
Get that stock photo shit the fuck out of here.
Yeah, because it's like weird. Because it's like we had thoroughly prevented an inroad malignant virus. Blah 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 blah. Successfully, Kim Jong Un said in a statement carried by KCNA. Not carried by Kim Jong, but by a group. So it makes you wonder, right? Like all these words are coming from somebody else, but they're saying they did take a stock footage. But I want to see this picture.
Yep.
And if this is the picture, is there a calendar? Is there like something?
Exactly.
Because it could be anything, dude.
Exactly. Like this motherfucker's become Bigfoot at this point. Like, like where's the footage at?
Yo. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god. Yo, how much would you die if they got a picture of Craig and said that was Kim Jong Un?
I'm surprised nobody's done it yet. Oh shit.
Oh dude. Oh fucking Craig. Alright, let's move on. Let's move on to the last episode, the last part. And Zesko believes that he's probably dead too. I'm just saying, I think I haven't seen anything like usually Kim Jong Un, who's usually you see him all the time, right? And you heard stories about him trying to get a heart transplant. People, there's a whole bunch of stories, and then out of nowhere, you just hear he's not doing well, and oh yeah, he's good. He was doing some kind of meeting. And then that's it. You don't see him anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They about the weekend at Bernie's, this motherfucker. That's all I'm going to say. Oh, man. Craig. They're going to get Craig. That's golly. All right. Oh, my goodness. All right. We're going to go right now to the What the Fuck of the Week. We're going to wrap it up. Wrap it up, B. Wrap it up. And this What the Fuck of the Week, this has a special place in my heart. And I don't usually like to give away or say anything, but I live in New Jersey. And I have lived once in my life in Camden County before. And I know Camden County. So this is something that was in my backyards at one point in time. And I gotta say, this story, as Gina says, it reads like a movie. Y'all ready? Mm-hmm. All right. Here we go. Our What the Fuck of the Week is in New Jersey. Camden County man charged with attempting to hire a hitman on the dark net to kill a minor. That's right, folks. To kill a minor. All right, let's do it. A Camden County man who was under investigation by the Atlantic County Prosecutor's Office for offense related to possessing explicit images of minors, that's child porn for those who don't know, was arrested today for allegedly paying $20,000 in Bitcoin to have the child victim murdered, U.S. Attorney Craig Carpenito announced. John Michael Musbach, 31 of Haddonfield, is charged by complaint with one count of murder for hire. For those who don't know, because once again, I know, Haddonfield is a town, it's like one of those old school towns. It's right outside of another town called Cherry Hill, and in between another town called Voorhees. All three of these towns are wealthy. Cherry Hill is extremely wealthy. In fact, a lot of players used to live in Cherry Hill at one point before they started moving out to another wealthy area that became wealthier, which is Morristown. So Haddonfield is very wealthy. It's old money. It's old money, folks. To put it like this, I can't live in Haddonfield. I don't have that amount of money. And if you guys were supporting me with, like, let's say 1,000 to 2,000 subs a month, I still couldn't live in Haddonfield. I'm just saying, I would need like 10,000 subs from you guys a month to be able to live in Haddonfield.
Out there.
Yeah. I need at least 10,000 subs a month to be able to live in Haddonfield. Just to give y'all guys understanding of where this area is. So, according to documents filed in this case and statements made in court, the summer of 2015, Musbach began communicating via the internet relay chat, known as To the Cool Kids, IRC, website with his victim, who was 13 years old at the time. At some point, Musbach began using IRC conversations to request and receive sexually explicit videos and photographs of the minor victim, and to send to the victim sexually explicit videos and photographs of himself. In September 2015, the victim's parents discovered the nature of Musbach's communications with the victim and notified law enforcement officers in the state of New York, where the victim resided. Officers began investigating Musbach's conduct and called Musbach, notifying him that he was under investigation for his online sexual contact with the victim, and he was to stay away from the victim. Upon identifying Musbach as a resident of Atlantic County, New York law enforcement officers reached out to Atlantic County Prosecutor's Office, ACPO, going forward, which continued investigations. On March 31st, 2016, officers from the ACPO arrested Musbach on charges of possessing explicit images of minors and executed a search warrant for his residence, then in Galloway. I actually know people in Galloway. Galloway's far south, way south of New Jersey. Way south. Like past Atlantic City. You're going probably near Toms Rivers, for people who know. It's basically right almost at the very, very, very south. You're almost about to go into Delaware when you go into Galloway. Law enforcement officers seized Musbach's cellular telephone and also his business laptop provided to him by his then employer, a cloud hosting company. Musbach admitted to having sent sexually explicit images and videos of himself to the victim and having requested to receive sexually explicit images and videos from the victim, all while knowing the victim was 13 years old. This motherfucker admitted he knew this kid was 13 years old, and that he was sending and requesting videos. So 2 years later, on October 11th, 2016, from when he first reached out, Musbach pleaded guilty to endangering the welfare of a child, the victim, by sexual contact, and was sentenced to February 9th, 2018. Sentenced on February 9th, 2018, by New Jersey Superior Court to a 2-year suspended sentence with parole supervision for life. Listen to that, folks. 2-year suspended sentence with parole for being a child pedophile.
That's no fucking time.
Nope. The rich. So we continue. In 2019, cooperating informant began providing information to agents from Homeland Security Investigation in St. Paul, Minnesota, and provided messages between Musbach and a murder-for-hire website which operated on the darknet and which purported to offer contract killings and other acts of violence in return for payment in cryptocurrency. Those messages revealed that in May of 2016, Musbach arranged for murder for hire from the website. He asked if the 14-year-old boy was too young to target, and upon hearing that the age was not a problem, he paid approximately 40 Bitcoin, at the time $20,000, for the hit. Musbach repeatedly messaged the website's administrator following up on the hit, asking when it would occur. When he pressed for additional $5,000 to secure the hit, Musbach eventually sought to cancel it and asked for his refund. I want a refund, man. This isn't done. Screw it. The website's administrator then revealed that the website was a scam and threatened to reveal Musbach's information to law enforcement. Agents were able to confirm Musbach's identity through several means, including linking him to the same screen name he used to communicate with the Murder for Hire website, also by tracing the flow of monies from Musbach's bank account to the purchase of Bitcoin used to pay for the hit. The charge of the interstate commerce facilities and the commission of the murder for hire is punishable by a maximum potential penalty of 10 years in prison and a fine greater than 250,000, twice the gross profits to Musbach, or twice the gross losses to the victim of the offense. The charge and allegations in the complaint are merely accusations, and the defendant is presumed innocent until proven guilty. So let me read this one part to you one last time. The charge of use of interstate commerce facilities in the commission of murder for hire is punishable by a maximum potential penalty of 10 years in prison and a fine of greater of $250,000.
Fucking crazy, man.
So this guy got 2 years commuted for child porn, reaching out to kids, sending him his own porn and requesting porn from the kids. And then for attempting to murder this kid on the dark web, the maximum time this guy could get is 10 years in prison. All right, Two Beers, go ahead. I've read a lot. Tell me what you think about this. What the fuck of the week?
Why? Like, I'm not gonna get into the whole like how fucked up the lack of sentencing or punishment is, especially like a lot of us know people who are doing more time on weed charges. So like the fact that he only got 2 years for the soliciting, and then turn around and we're not even sure if he gets convicted he'll get 10 years. It's a maximum of 10 years they could give him, so he could get less than that. And but let's just go over how dumb this motherfucker is. First of all, I didn't know that people still go on IRC. I'm surprised that it's still around. Secondly,
well, it was 2015, so it was 5 years ago. 5 years ago. I'll give him that.
Even at 5 years, I'm still surprised it was still around. So like on top of that, like this basically goes to show you that like when you don't punish people for like doing horrible things, and they feel that there's no consequences given, they go out and do dumber shit. Like the little amount of time he got for what he did, even though they had enough proof to basically lock him up for longer, instead of just being like, I'm going to live my life, he decides that he's going to go ahead and try to kill the same kid that he solicited, that he shouldn't have been talking to or getting porn from in the first place. So that was what he got out of that I'm going to make this person pay for my wrongdoing. And this reminds me of I think you may have sent it to the Discord. There was a donkey of the day where like a person tried to hire a hitman off of a website, hitman.com. And the fact that somebody would be fucking dumb enough to go to a website called hitman.com and try to hire a killer from there. We should be like, change it to lockyourstupidass.com.
My
I just
goodness.
don't fucking get people, man. Like how could you be this fucking stupid? So I'm glad they called him. I hope he gets I hope he's found guilty. But the saddest part is that like he's gonna do 10 years and like or maybe less than 10 years. And I don't think he's gonna be rehabilitated. I think he's still gonna come after that kid once he gets out.
Of course he is.
Who will be an adult at that time. Because this is just the type of person that he's shown us that he is at this point. And like it just pisses me off that like that the justice system is just so forgiving and rewarding to to a bag of shit like this, as opposed to other people who are doing who are not even doing like major felonies. Like even though it's an apples to oranges comparison, there's a woman out there who got sentenced to 5 years because she 5 years because she put she put a fake address on her kids as their kids address so they could go to school in a certain zone. 5 years, but this motherfucker got 2 years for soliciting child porn. This
It
is
could be.
the
It
this
could
is
be
our
worse.
world.
It could be worse. You could be Kanye West and put a whole bunch of fraudulent signatures so you could run a president and not get
Yeah,
arrested at
screw that.
all.
This motherfucker put Mickey Mouse's name on his ballot list of people who are signed. Mickey fucking Mouse.
God damn. Oh, oh my
But
god.
yeah, keep listening to them hot beats, Con.
Yeah, I know. All I'm gonna say is, wow, this donkey was surprising. This what donkey? You got me saying it. This what the fuck of the week was very surprising. When I heard the story, I was like, oh my god, I gotta cover it. Mainly because I know the area, and is out in New Jersey. Is not many. I know GNS gave us a story about a guy who broke in a store and got his ass whooped and used as a sex toy. But that story was like 5 years old, so it's like, okay, that's from like 2011. Like, can I still use that? So I went with this one. I didn't try to look up Florida. I stayed far away from Florida. I gave Florida the week off. But next week, I'm sure that you'll continue to surprise me. Like I said, this has got movie written all over it. And as you stated before, this guy is not rehabilitated, man. Kids, what,
Nope.
got to be about 18 years old, going on 19 next year. When all this, all this shit happens, and he comes out, he's gonna do something stupid. You
Yep.
gotta stop. You gotta stop helping these people with money. I'm sorry. Stop making up excuses for them and allowing them to get away with literally murder
Yep.
or attempted murder in this case. All right, sir. That brings us to the end, Mr. Two Beards. That's all of it. I think we did a pretty good job.
Oh yeah.
Oh, by the
I
way,
agree.
your buddy boy is showing stuff for Black Adam tomorrow. He's coming to crush them all. An exclusive 10-minute rock Black Adam.
he, he's lying. There's gonna be 10 minutes of him just talking about the movie that's never coming out.
Or a comic book or something. It's something crazy.
He'll probably show some concept art done by Boss Logic or something like that. This shit ain't coming out.
Oh, shit. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Mr. Two Beards, tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter at Scorpio Report. You can also type in Bitsaki. Typing in either one of those two names will actually lead you to my Twitter. You can find me on Instagram under Bitsake, and that's BITSAKE.
Cool. My name is Khan, aka Swole Squirrel. That you can find me under Mobies, or look up Swole Squirrel. That's where you'll find me, MOEBES, on the Twitters. And then also you can listen to us every Friday, going back next Friday and going back tomorrow, back on Twitch. We did something special for tonight, and we did another YouTube run. But we'll be back on Twitch again next week. And come tomorrow for tomorrow's stream, because I didn't get a chance to stream today. I mean, this week we did stream today. But yeah, so we'll be back then on Twitch. And YouTube is under ARNGM. ARNGM. You can also find this page for his Twitter to keep you posted under ARGM or at ARN Games. I want to say thank you. No guests this week. But thank you to our wonderful chat. Thank you for coming out, talking to us. Remember, folks, for all
Thanks,
those
guys.
listening, every Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, come be part of the chat. Come and let your opinion be heard. Are you in the know? We will love you to be in it. And if you're listening to any of our YouTube, Twitch, click all those follow buttons. Share the podcast. I'm seeing what looks like people sharing continue to share. It's hard, you know. Analytics don't tell me much, so I have no clue. But I'm guessing that's from it. You know, share, tell us, let us know. You know what you like, what you don't like, what you want to change, what you don't want to change, who you want as guests. If you all want to be a guest, let us know. Just talk to us, reach out to us. You can reach me at Mobies. You can reach him at Scorpio Report. No, Bitsaki. I'm sorry. It's the Scorpio Report or Bitsaki? Scorpio Report, right?
Scorpio Report.
You just said it and I did it. But yeah, at Scorpio Report, reach out to us. He usually has all of our guests. But yeah, talk to us. Let us know. You know, how you like it. You know, I want to hear. And if you're watching this on YouTube or you see our Twitch thing on YouTube, comment below. Let us know. You know, hit that sub. And it goes a long ways. It lets us know, you know, how you feel. I seen some thumbs up on the last video on YouTube, which is good. But, you know, I love the thumbs up, but comment below. Tell us what you think, what you like, what you don't like, so that we can make the changes for you. And to let other people know, I'm still waiting for my other two partners to send me their information so something can go live. But
oh yeah, damn.
You know, it is what it is. You know, I'm just waiting.
I'll have that to you tomorrow.
All right. So until then, folks, remember, stay safe. Shoot the shit, don't be shit. And Mr. Terrence Howard, I heard what you had to say about President Barack Obama. And for you, I know it's your opinion to say he's the worst president ever, but you know what? You can suck a fat dick. You know,
Did he
fuck
actually
you.
say that?
You fuck you, yes, you fucking muppet. You fucking muppet. You fucking muppet. Fuck you. I don't even need to do the trilogy. You get the biggest fuck you ever. After I heard that shit, yeah, you're a fucking muppet. Yeah. Anything else, Two Beers? I'm sorry. That pissed me off when I heard that.
No.
When you had
the go to him tonight.
The sinking and worst economy ever after George Bush, and we turned that shit around like we were in the second coming of fucking the Great Depression, and this motherfucker turned it around after 8 years, and he says he's the worst fucking president. Kiss my fucking ass. Fuck you, you fucking muppet. Remember, folks, shoot the shit. I'm sorry for the political stuff. Shoot the shit. Don't be shit. Peace out, everybody.